You might not be surprised to hear that about 71% of our Earth is covered in water, because this is a fact we've known since we became aware of it. But today, instead of discussing the 4 oceans of the Earth, we will focus on just one ocean's technical analysis, which might leave you a bit puzzled. Although every continent is surrounded by water, we have given the one ocean 4 different names for our convenience. This one ocean is essentially divided into 4 distinct names. Buy a lunch near the Pacific Ocean. Today we will spend the remaining $3 on the ocean. We will spend only £1 on the shores of the ocean, which we all know as the Pacific Ocean. So big that if you dug a huge 1-row tunnel down the middle of Peru, Chile, and dug that tunnel and dug it out straight through the other side of the world, then even after all this, you would still end up right in the middle of Vietnam, Taiwan, and you would end up in the Pacific Ocean. There are basically 3 paths from one side of the world to the other. The Pacific Ocean is the only ocean in the world. As many people say, it is so large that it is an ocean. This was an introduction. Earth's circumference is 40,000 kilometers. One such place is between Indonesia and Colombia, a significant part of the Pacific Ocean. Traveling by ship, you won't see even 1% of the ocean. That's why at places like Cox's Bazar or Kuakata, we try to enjoy the ocean but end up blending the sky and sea. Coming to the long side, it seems that this is basically a 20,000 kilometer area, where we can easily fit our moon, not just 1 Chao's, rather we can fit 5 Fowler's moon, and then there will be enough empty space here. If you try to see the entire ocean while traveling by ship, you won't be able to see even 1% of it. Our eyes are primarily designed to see the land around us, which is why we can't see very far. This is essentially the reason why, when we stand at places like Cox's Bazar or Kuakata, we try to enjoy the ocean but end up blending the sky and the sea together. A 6-foot-tall person can generally see only up to 5 kilometers of the ocean. If you want to see further, you would need to be on a high mountain. For instance, if you travel by plane over the ocean or try to enjoy the view from a height equal to or lower than Mount Everest, you would only be able to see the Pacific Ocean up to about 370 kilometers with the naked eye. You won't be able to see much further than that. Look at how far you can see right now. You see this line? You've seen it from the plane, right? Now let's try to take a look at it. From the National Space Station, you can see the Pacific Ocean from about 400,000 meters above. Now let's use Google Maps. See the famous island in the Pacific Ocean at Wanbado? This is the height a normal 1-hour drone camera can see. Move up to 10 kilometers, the altitude of a commercial plane. At 400 kilometers, the International Space Station is at $63,000. Ascend to 10 kilometers, the height of commercial planes. At 400 kilometers, see the ocean from the space station. At 63,000 kilometers, 95% of the Pacific is visible. Including 5% from the ground, it covers 16.5 million SQ kilometer, fitting all land masses. The mainland is 14 million. From here, we are now looking at the ocean. Let's move up 10,000 to our final zoom point. From 63,000 kilometers, 95% of the Pacific is visible. Considering the 5% visible from the ground, there's 16,500,000 square kilometers of Earth's land masses. The mainland is 14,000 square kilometers, with Bangladesh at 100,048 square kilometers. The Pacific can encompass the Americas, South Africa, Europe, Africa, Asia, Australia, and Greenland. Everything on Earth fits there, with room for India and surrounding Bangladesh. Now let's focus on another planet. The area of the mainland is about 1,400,000 square kilometers, where the current area of Bangladesh is 100,048 square kilometers, including the enclaves. The Pacific region is so vast that it can easily encompass the old Americas, South Africa, Europe, Africa, Asia, Australia, the Americas, and Greenland, which are the 7 continents. This means everything that exists on Earth can fit in there. And after that, the remaining area can accommodate places like India, and then the rest can surround Bangladesh. Now let's shift our focus from the continents to another planet. Let's say we are talking about our neighboring planet, Mars. The area of Mars is 148 million square kilometers. If the Pacific Ocean were to spill over Mars, then everything, including the mountains on Mars, would be submerged under the Pacific Ocean by several hundred feet. So far, we have talked about the surface quality of the Pacific Ocean. As mysterious as it is from above, there are hundreds of times more mysteries hidden inside it. Although this place called Challenge Island in the Pacific region is still considered the deepest, about 11 kilometers or 11,000 meters from the ground, which means the height at which planes fly. But scientists are continuing to search for places several times deeper than this. and scientists have found 3 more trains found in it. The ones that are technically deeper than the Mariana Trench include the Toy Trench, the Philippines Trench, and the Kamchatka Trench. Let's wrap up today's discussion with one last fact. About 509 years ago, a person named 14 Magazines crossed the entire Pacific Ocean. He was the first to refer to it as Pacific, which means peaceful, and the Pacific is getting smaller. The main reason for this, in my opinion, is what do you think is the current moment in class? On one hand, due to these reasons, the Pacific Ocean is indeed shrinking, but on the other hand, the Atlantic Ocean is growing at the same rate. All major tsunamis and earthquakes in the world occur in the Pacific region, caused by the movement of tectonic plates located deep below. The deepest volcanic structure found beneath the Pacific Ocean is over 75,000 years old. The largest of these is called Mount Hasi. Overall, the Pacific Ocean ranks number 1, with more than 25,000 islands. Among these, there are over 1,000 islands where no human has ever set foot. This search for 25,000 islands in the hemisphere could take several months. Searching for these approximately 25,000 islands in the hemisphere could take several months or even longer.